Everybody knows Tetris, a 41-year-old game that is still relevant until this day. A game that you'll rarely find someone who doesn't like it. And as hard as it is to make this game, I'll make it even harder. So hear me out. Instead of one board that the regular Tetris game has, I'll make it 4 boards instead. A piece will be instantiated on the first board. When that piece hits the bottom of the board or it's locked in with another piece, we'll switch to the next board and another piece will be spawned. And it continues like this. Also, the boards will be switched if the current piece goes out of bounds and enters the next board or the previous board. Also, a line can only be cleared when the correspondent lines in the other boards are all full. So after I explained what I want to do, let's go ahead and make it. The first thing I did was making the boards, then working on a mechanism to switch between them. As you see, the boards can be switched left or right depending on where the piece goes out of bounds. Next, I worked on spawning the start piece, then changing its position to go down the board based on a time delay that will be decreased as the game gets harder. I also implemented the controls to move the piece left and right. And let us not forget the hard drop, that's when the piece goes down the board at high speeds. And to finish off with the controls, it was necessary to add the most important control of this game, which is rotating the piece. One problem that I faced when rotating the piece was when the piece is on the edge of the bounds, when rotated, it would go out of bounds. To fix that, I needed to implement wall kicks. That means we will check that the positions the blocks will be transferred to when rotating the piece are empty and not out of bounds. If they are not, we will try to push the piece away from the edge of the bounds inside the board and try again. And while we're at it, another problem showed itself, which is that the piece doesn't lock in when it reaches the bottom of the board. To fix that, we need to lock the piece in place, but we will give it a delay. The reason for that is, you know, when you have that T piece or L piece and you have that gap in the bottom of the board and you need to fill it, I'll give you just enough time to push the piece left or right to fill the gap, then we'll lock the piece. And as soon as we lock the piece, we will instantiate another piece. As you look in here, it is instantiated in the same board, but we will change that later. Now that I am done with working on one board, we need to work on switching the boards, and as usual, and because I'm so good, it worked in the first try and nothing went wrong. After some tweaking, and by tweaking I mean I changed one line of code, I kid you not, everything started working as intended. Now all that's left is clearing the lines, and I can say with confidence that this was the easiest part of transforming this Tetris game into this 4 boards format, because all I had to do was loop through the 4 boards and check if a line is cleared, instead of checking for one board. Also now you can see the next piece that will be spawned on the board. And as you see, when the same line of all the 4 boards is full, the line will be cleared. All what was left now is to add some visuals and some menus to this game to make it look like a real game. Also now when you clear a line, it will show you how many lines you cleared. Lastly, it was important to show the player how to play the game, so I added a little tutorial to show the players the controls. And with that, I'll end this video. The game is available on Play Store if you want to play it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.